Hello, everybody. This is Dee from Dee's Cute and Crafty, and I'm back with 3 fun fall festive DIYs for you today. We're going to be incorporating a little bit of Halloween. We're going to start easing that into my fall decor. So let's get started. We're going to make a wreath. You'll need one of the 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frames, one of their MDF signs. I have this mustard fall color gold ribbon from Marks. I have the orange and white buffalo check from Hobby Lobby, and the white burlap chevron, and the regular chevron, and the jute, and the paddle wire, all from Dollar Tree. I'll be using my Waverly chalk paints in pumpkin and antique wax, and I'll be using my Hello Hobby chalk paint in Tuscan Sun and Swan White. So let's start out by getting that sticker off the back of this MDF board. We are going to make some candy corn. I know, don't hate me. Don't hate me. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I love it. Comment down below. Let me know if you like candy corn. It's like 98% of the world hates it, and then the 2% of us, we will eat it. So I measured out my sign to see how long it was so I could divide it into 3 equal parts because we're going to make 3 big pieces of candy corn. And I'm just drawing really a triangle that I have rounded the edges on. That's the best way I could explain it. It's like a shark tooth. So I'm taking my X-Acto knife and I'm going to get those 3 pieces cut apart from each other, and then I'm going to go in and define them even more and just cut them down. And I have the Band-Aid on my finger, not because I cut myself, but because I wanted some padding on my finger so that I don't get a blister, because I do a lot of hand cutting because I don't have any power tools. So after I cut everything down with my X-Acto knife, I go in and I get it even closer to my pencil drawing that I can by nipping it down around the edges with my wire cutters. And then after I do that, you'll see me go in even closer to get it cut closer to the pencil markings with my X-Acto knife. Then after I do that, I'll go in with my Gator sander and I'll smooth it all down. So you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for choosing me. There are tons, I tell you, of crafty people out there that you could watch, and you chose my channel to be one of the channels you wanted to watch, and I thank you for that. And to all my ride or dies that have been with me for a while, that talk to me in the comments and have been watching and giving me inspiration, you guys know I love you. Thank you so much for being here as well. So now that I've got that all sanded down nice and smooth, I'm going in and I'm drawing my line for the top of the candy corn and drawing my line for the bottom. And I'm using my whittling tool from Dollar Tree that I absolutely love. I love this thing. And I am giving this candy corn more definition by giving it some grooves, for lack of a better way to put it, where those lines are. Just giving it more definition and dimension. I love it. I have all 3 pieces cut out, and now I'm going to start painting. You guys, I'm so excited to start getting into a little bit of Halloween DIYs along with my fall DIYs. I'm trying to transition them in slowly because I don't really want to give up my pumpkins and things like that just yet. So you'll see a little bit of Halloween, and I don't really do too spooky, maybe a little, but I like mine kind of fun and whimsical. So that's what you'll start seeing as we continue crafting throughout this season. Look at that, it's so cute. And then I did a little bit of sanding to make it look old and weathered. And I am going to cover the back of these candy corn with some brown craft paper because I could not get all that glitter off. I couldn't get all the paper off, and it just looked unfinished and I didn't like it. So we're going to cover that right up. Now I'm taking that burlap that I got from Dollar Tree and I'm going to wrap this wreath frame. And you want to overlap it, but not so much that you're using up a lot of the burlap. You just want the ends to touch so that the wire doesn't show through. And if you do that, this one roll will be enough to wrap this entire wreath form. You won't need any more than just this one. So I got it wrapped and set aside, and now I'm taking my ruler and I've lined all 3 pieces of candy corn up, and I drew a straight line across all 3 pieces so that my wording lines up straight across each one. And I'm just writing in pencil in my own hand, trick or treat. Then I'll go back in with my Hello Hobby black marker, and I will fill everything in and make it nice and sharp so you can see it. I like doing pencil first in case I mess anything up. I can erase it and fix it. So I always do my hand lettering in pencil first. Going back in with my eraser, and I'm getting rid of any pencil marks that I may have left behind. So here you see my 3 large pieces of candy corn, and I am just gluing them to each other, not to the wreath, to each other, going in all different directions. And then I am going to go in with my paddle wire, and I'm going to wire them to the wreath. I did put a little dab of glue, but that glue is not meant to hold those candy corn down. It won't hold it for very long. If it gets in the elements or the sun hits it or something like that, that glue will melt and everything will fall off of your wreath. So I like to wire my decorations to my wreath. Anytime I can do it, I like to do it that way. So here you see me working on my bow. And I just make loops. And then I go back and I make my tails, and I dovetail my ends, and I start with a big loop, a medium loop, and a small loop. You guys, this is the best bow that I know how to make. I don't know how to make a lot of different kinds of bows. This is the one that I go to 99% of the time. I know how to do a good messy bow because it's not really a bow. It's just cutting fabric or ribbon and crisscrossing it and tying it in the middle. So that's fairly easy. And then I know how to make a notched bow, but it's really not my favorite one. And of course I can do a shoestring bow. It's just like tying your shoe. But that's pretty much it for me, you guys. I don't have a lot of different bow selections that I'm really super great at that I make. I'm a one-trick pony. I can do a few things, and that's pretty much it when it comes to bow making. But I like my bows. I absolutely love them. So I'm fine with you know, just knowing how to make a couple of things. Maybe I'll learn how to make some others as I go along crafting, but right now this works for me. It's easy and it comes out pretty every time. And now we're going to fluff it up to make it even more pretty. And I'm just going to use that jute twine that I tied the bow together with to tie it onto the wreath form. So I'm taking my paddle wire, and I like to double it up because I think it's a little thin, and I am going to wire it to the candy corn and wire that to the frame. And I just poked holes in the top of the candy corn and in the bottom, and I'm just going to then take that wire and poke it through the burlap and then twist it together on the back of this sign. Now the wire at the top you won't see, but if you're concerned about seeing it, because it's at the top where the paint is white, I would just paint some white paint on top of that silver paddle wire and some yellow paint on the bottom of that silver paddle wire at the bottom of the candy corn. That doesn't bother me, so I just left it the way it was. And now I'm tying the bow on. And I'm just going to get that glued down, and I'm taking a piece of scrap ribbon to help keep that jute twine in place. And you guys see here that I have some black and white splatter on my candy corn. I did not show you that on camera because I had to actually take that whole piece into my kitchen and do that on my kitchen floor. I do not have room in my craft room to do that because it's just too small in there, plus there's carpet in there, and I knew that I could get that done in the kitchen where there's tile, and then it was easy cleanup. So that's why you didn't see me do the splatter technique. And I did all these other big pieces of candy corn and a lot of small pieces of candy corn. And I thought I would use the big pieces, but I didn't like them. They were too busy after I made them. So I'll set those aside for another time. But here you see me adding like this little half hook of candy corn to the opposite side of the wreath. I glued all those pieces together, and then I glued them to the wreath. And then because I added the black paint splatter, I felt like I needed some black in the bow, so I went back in with the Dollar Tree black polka dot and burlap ribbon and made another bow and tied it on as well. And she is done, and oh, isn't she cute? I really like this one, but it's not my favorite. You want to know which one my favorite is? You're gonna have to keep watching. Here it is, you guys. I like it, and I hope you guys do too. As always, comment down below. Let me know which one is your favorite of the three that I'm going to show you today. And again, that paint splatter, that wasn't easy. I thought it was just going to be flicking the paint off the toothbrush. It did not do what I wanted it to do, so I'm glad I took it in my kitchen. I had paint everywhere. Everywhere. Moving on to DIY number 2, I'll be using my Hello Hobby chalk paint in Swan White, my Waverly chalk paint in Moss. I have one of these Dollar Tree My Life signs. I've got some berry garland. I have various different pumpkins from Dollar Tree. They came out with beautiful ones this year. And I've got these little bitty sunflowers, orangey colored flowers from a pick that I got from Joann Fabrics. So here you see me just dismembering pretty much my pumpkins and getting them ready to make this little pumpkin topiary. I love this one. And yes, it is my favorite of the three that I'm showing you today. This one is so adorable. It will look good on a tiered tray. It can stand on its own. It could be a shelf setter, wherever you want to put it. It is cute, and it would go well in your home decor if you're using the fall festive colors that I'm using in this DIY. So after I get all of my stems taken out of my pumpkins, I just hot glue them all together, from smallest to largest or largest to smallest, whichever way you look at it. And I'm just gonna set that aside for now. I'm kind of measuring to see how it looks sitting on the sign. I took that pineapple off the sign and set it to the side, and I am going to give this last little orange pumpkin a coat of white paint, and then I'm going to paint it in a deeper, rustier colored orange, because the orange that it was a little bit too stark, too bright, too something. I didn't like it. See the difference? I like the painted one better. So now I just put the stem back in, added some hot glue, add a little more hot glue, and there is my little topiary. Gonna set that to the side. I'm also using one of these Dollar Tree Wood Words Hello Autumn, and it went left a little bit, but as always, I pulled it back together. I started out by trying to cut the word hello off of this sign to separate it. And I've done it before, and I did okay, but this just gave me a hard time today. I don't know what was going on, but I ended up breaking the sign and then having to put it back together. It was not a clean cut. You'll see. There it goes. I just broke it between the two L's. Just going to keep going with it, getting it cut out, sanding it down, adding a lot of pressure to get through that wood. Another L came off. So all I'm going to do to repair this after I get it all sanded down smooth is take a piece of craft stick, cut down a nice small slender piece, and hot glue the word hello to that. And I guess I could have just applied it, you know, individual pieces, each individual letter, but I didn't want to do that. I find it easier and I can get the word straight when I have it attached to something and then place the whole word as opposed to trying to place each letter on its own. I usually don't do well with that. So I peeled off as much of the paper as I could get, and I sanded it down as best I could and still did not get all of that paper off of there. But we're going to paint it white anyway, or a off-white. Going to paint the entire thing. Usually I don't paint where I'm going to hot glue something, but I painted the whole thing. And then I'm going to take 2 tumbling tower blocks and I'm going to glue those together and then glue them to the back of the sign, because my topiary needs something more to sit on than just that small ledge that's there. So I'm giving it more width so I can set my topiary up there and hot glue it down. And as you can see, I went in my own handwriting and wrote the word pumpkin. Just going in with my Hello Hobby brown marker, and we're going to define that lettering just a little bit more. And I'm using brown because I use the Waverly Antique Wax to stain my word hello. So I wanted to keep them both brown. And now that I've got that done, I'm going to distress it. You know, I cannot help it. I have to do it. So I'm going to scratch it all up and make it look old and weathered. And in the process, break off my 2 little Jenga blocks that I just put on there because they weren't really as dry as they should have been, I guess. The wood glue, the hot glue, it did not work out in my favor. So I went in with the baby wipe. I cleaned up the back. I went in with my little scraper tool and I got that hot glue off of there. Then I'm going to take my hair dryer and make sure that it is good and dry before I try to reapply those 2 Jenga blocks. Getting those cleaned up as well. Hot gluing those 2 back together, and now I'm going in with my Gorilla Glue. And after I used that, I had no issues. This is why I wanted to make sure the surface was nice and dry before I added the Gorilla Glue to the blocks and then added the blocks to the sign. Gorilla Glue and hot glue did the trick this time around. The wood glue and the hot glue did not work. And normally it does, so I don't know. So now I'm just going to add the word hello to the blank space on the sign. I distressed it, scratched it all up, got it looking old and weathered just the way I like it. And then we're going to add our pumpkin topiary. This came out so cute. It did, and it is my favorite. I love this piece. So I'm going in with my 2 different kinds of berry garland. I'm going to use the red or the burgundy and the orange, and then I'm going to use the white and the green. Just because I have that white and green pumpkin on there, so I wanted to pull that color in as well. So I'm just wrapping it around, just fussing with it, getting it to look the way I want. Wrapping it a couple times. Then I'll cut it. And you guys, I don't even, yes I did, I was going to say, I don't even think I glued this on, but I did kind of glue it on at the bottom where it's sitting. Once I put the flowers on, I kind of glued the beads or the bead garland a little bit, just to make sure it doesn't unravel itself. Yeah, I'm still fussing with this garland. I don't know what was going on. No clue. Eventually, I do win. The garland did not beat me because we are fighting right now. I'm going to take those little cute yellow sunflowers. I'm just looking to see, some are they all yellow? Yeah, yellowy orange. Just looking to see where I want to place them. And I'm just going to hot glue the sunflowers down. And it's done. Here it is, you guys. It is my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite because I had to fight with it. I broke the letters. I had to fight with the bead garland. I don't know what it is about this piece, but it's adorable and I love it. Moving on to DIY number 3 and the last one for this video, I have taken my Dollar Tree MDF boards and I've cut out 3 pumpkins, a medium, a large, and a smaller one. I've taken my Dollar Tree whittling tool that I absolutely love, and in the larger pumpkin I have scored it to make it look like barn wood or shiplap or whichever. I'm not sure which is which. Comment down below, get me straight. And I'm just showing you the tools that I use to get it cut. You guys saw me do that in a previous video. I have some Spanish moss, some jute twine, some of the jumbo blocks, the ones that you get from Dollar General, and then I have the regular tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree, just showing you the difference in size. And I have some of the wood cubes, 4 of those, and I've got 5 of the Dollar Tree wood stems, some Mod Podge, Hello Hobby in pumpkin and swan, Waverly in sage, and one of those beautiful truck napkins. I've got some of the burlap leaves and then just some of the other foliage that I got from Dollar Tree, just a bunch of different leaves. I've got various ribbons, and you've seen that buffalo check already in a previous DIY. We're going to bring it back for this one as well. So once you don't have to cut your own pumpkins out by hand. You could use the wood pumpkins at Dollar Tree. I like cutting things out, so I cut them out. And here you see me taking the tumbling tower blocks, and I am adhering them to the tops of the pumpkin so that when I get ready to put my stand on there, the stem, or peduncle as I've recently learned it's called, it has something to stand on. I don't have to use just like a ton of glue and worry about it falling off. So the tumbling tower block gives your peduncle a place to stand. What a funny word. Anyway, I've got my pumpkins all painted. I didn't feel like you guys needed to watch me paint each one individually, but I did want to show you how I'm going in and adding my colors and my definition to each of the pumpkins. The white one, of course, I just left as it was because that's where our truck napkin's going to go. Then I did the reverse. I did orange on green and green on orange, as you can see. Set those to the side and let them begin to dry. Now that the white one is dry, I'm just going to give it a good sanding. Now I'm adding my Mod Podge so I can put my truck on there. I have a ton of these napkins, so this probably is not the last time you'll see it. Giving this a good coat of Mod Podge all over, and then gently getting that truck on there. And to anybody who is waiting for the fall 2023 calendars from me, they did ship out. So you should be getting them soon. And I'm so excited. If you guys craft using the items that I've showed you, sent to you, please go over to D's Cute and Crafty DIY Divas, my free Facebook group. Ask to join if you're not already a member, and admin will let you in. I'd love to see what you do with those napkins and the crafts that I sent. And congratulations to everybody who won. Thank you guys so much for being a part of that. So I'm taking my 4 blocks and I'm just kind of looking to see if I want to elevate my pumpkins so that they're not all sitting flat. And I am going to do that. But right now I'm taking 3 of the stems because one stem on this really big pumpkin just wasn't enough. It just seemed lackluster. It seemed like it needed something else. So I'm going to use 3 stems, give me more bulk. I'm going to tie them together with some jute twine, and then I'm going to set them on that tumbling tower black ledge that I've got back there and hot glue them down. Wood glue and hot glue. And this time it works. So you see I've written in my own handwriting, I love fall most of all. And I'm going in with that Hello Hobby black marker and darkening everything up. I love to change up the font when I'm writing something. So you'll see some lowercase print sometimes. You'll see some cursive. You'll see my faux Ray Dunn, my attempt at doing the Ray Dunn print when I make things long and skinny. I just love switching it up. This one came out really nice too, you guys. I am so happy with all 3 of these DIYs. It was hard to pick a favorite, but that little shelf setter is the cutest thing. It just is. So I'm going in with my soft colored satin ribbon. I love this ribbon. I love the watercolor look of it. And I'm going to make a bow, and this one's going to go on my biggest pumpkin. Just making my loops, making my tail, pinching it all together, and tying it with jute twine. Easy as can be. Set that one to the side, and then I'm going to use the orange and white buffalo check for the green pumpkin. Same technique. Make you some loops, add your tails, pinch it together, tie it off with some twine. And one more. We did the green and white one, and that's going to go on the orange pumpkin. What you guys don't see here that I don't know why I don't have the footage. I don't know. Please forgive me. I did go in and I added my leaves in. So you will see the leaves in the final reveal. You won't even see them on the reveal of this DIY because I didn't add them in until after I looked at everything and went, why do I still have all these leaves sitting on the table? Because I didn't use them. So you'll see them in the final reveal of everything. Just gluing those bows down to the stem, fluffing them back out, cutting off the excess twine. Now I'm going to use my tumbling tower blocks to elevate the pumpkin in the middle. And it would have been easier, I don't know why I did it this way. It would have been easier just to flip that green pumpkin over, put 4 blocks on the back, pop some glue on those blocks, and then place that down on those 2 pumpkins in the front. I don't know why I did it the way I did it. And I'm going to add my Spanish moss at the bottom. And this one's going to be done. Love it. You guys, there were little bitty sticks in my Spanish moss, for which I'm grateful because you're going to see them in another DIY. And this is it, you guys, the final reveal of all 3 DIYs that I brought to you today. If you made it to this far in the video and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? It's absolutely free, and I would love to have you as part of the Cute and Crafty family. If you do decide to subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell as well, so you never miss out on another Cute and Crafty DIY with Dee. And you guys, give this video a thumbs up. Talk to me in the comments. I truly appreciate it. When you give it a thumbs up, that lets YouTube know that you are enjoying my content, and they will show you more of my content. It pushes me out a little bit. Other people can see it as well, and it helps my channel grow. And I appreciate that so much. So thank you. You guys have a beautiful, blessed day and stay safe. And I'll see you in my next one. You guys go craft something beautiful today. Bye.